everyone. Welcome to This Day. It's Friday and it is October 16th. We don't have any meetings to tell you about today, but we will just skip right on to who's on our show today. We have Jeff Parker, who's here with a Laguna Woods update. And then we have a United update with Sue Margolis. She's going to talk all about insurance, and that's been a big subject now for the last couple of weeks. Let's go ahead and go to our reminders and resources for you. We have covid19.ca.gov. It's where you can get all the governor's ideas and plans of how he's going to move forward here in California. OCHealthInfo.com is where you can get all of the latest information regarding numbers for COVID-19. Then you can also contact their hotline, which is 714-834-2000. Of course, you can always go to our website, which is LagunaWoodsVillageAlerts.com, and you can email us at info@LagunaWoodsVillage.com. Now, the weather is very warm still, and we still have a heat advisory through this evening. We are looking at 94-65 today, hot still tomorrow, 90-64. We will be cooling down starting Sunday, 82-63. Monday 79-63, and Tuesday 78-66, and throughout the end of next week looking very nice. Let's go ahead, and if you plan to travel this weekend, we've got the beaches at 80-63. That is where I will be tomorrow. After our program, we'll be at the beach because it's going to be nice and cool down there. Mammoth 73-30, Big Bear 74-34, and then Palm Springs triple digits of 103 with an overnight of 70. Now, our sunrise this morning was 6:57, and our sunset will be at 6:15, so it is getting earlier. The photo is by Sue and Jules. That's little old Charlie walking along there. Look at him. I'm not sure if he's super happy about being on the leash by himself, but he looks pretty good out there walking. So thank you, Sue and Jules, for sending that in. And if you have a photo of a beloved pet or something in the wild that you've caught, go ahead and email that to us at LagunaWoodsVillageTV@gmail.com. When we return, we'll have Jeff Parker, so stay tuned.
Silver
and gold. Consider it sold.
The Jewelry Box of Lake Forest will buy your gold, diamonds, fine watches, coins, and sterling serviceware, regardless of condition. With metals at an all-time high, now is the time to sell. Visit us in person or shop online from the comfort of home.
Silver and gold. Consider it sold.
At the Jewelry Box, it's about trust.
I'm gonna do it today.
What?
All of it.
This is your time. You're ready for what's next. And what's next doesn't include compromise.
Don't you have a doctor's appointment?
Yeah.
Introducing AVA, a new Medicare Advantage plan from Alignment Health Plan that gives you access to a primary care doctor and specialist from the comfort of your own home with 24 hours a day, 7 days a week concierge service. Benefits include no monthly premium, dental, vision, and a $0 copay to see a doctor with low out-of-pocket costs, full drug coverage, pet care, and more. Plus over-the-counter dollars and a Part B premium giveback of $50 per month. It's the plan built for your time.
What next?
Well, that novel ain't gonna write itself.
Those who are Medicare eligible can call us at 866-628-9431 for more information and your free no-obligation gift.
At Freedom Village Assisted Living, we provide loving care and support when your loved one needs it most. We believe in laughing more and caring more. Dining will be an experience, not just a meal. We offer opportunities to create new memories. Your family will feel like they are part of our family as we work toward creating an extraordinary difference in lives worth living. To schedule a tour and complimentary lunch and for more information, please call us at 949-340-8108 or visit our website, freedomvillage.org.
Welcome back. We have Jeff Parker here with us today. Welcome, and gosh, it feels like I just saw you.
Yep.
This week flew by.
This week was pretty quick. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you. So what do you got for us? You have a few more COVID numbers, hopefully on the good side.
Well, unfortunately, we've seen a spike, and for Orange County numbers, probably the serious one that they saw was the reported deaths in Orange County went to 31, which is on a one-day reporting, one of the highest that they've had since we've been reporting COVID. Now, the health director of Orange County reported yesterday in the news that these 31 were not like one day. They were accumulation of some deaths that had occurred, reporting, kind of compiled them finally.
Oh.
So he said some of them could go back as far as July or August, which is pretty rare that they get that far behind.
Yeah.
But they did note that.
Okay,
Of the 31, 17 were in nursing homes, which is
yes, it says right
which
there,
is problematic,
students,
as we
right.
said, and
Yeah.
2 were in assisted living. And those are the ones that you hear a lot about because of the density that they have inside a building, so it spreads quicker. And then, but still a big number, and then 12 residents living outside, so living in regular homes like us here in the village. So it's still a big number, and so that's kind of scary. The correlation to it, to me, that we've talked about is that cases in the ICU at 66 is up from where it was. The total hospitalization's not. So in the sense of percentage, there's more in ICU than there was before. So I think, again, that's something to watch, because like what you've talked about and what we've talked about is that generally when you're in ICU, you're in there for a period of time. So we'll see where this goes. With regards to the numbers up on the board, the 4.6 and the 3.5 are still trending the right way. The problem is the 4.6 is still in the red, whereas the testing positive is in the moderate range. So we need to get this one on the left, the cases per 100,000 down. But there was an addition to this process that the governor rolled out last week. And that is with regards to counties moving into the next tier. So for us getting down into tier 3, which would be moderate, we need to go into the 3s relative to 4.6.
Yeah, right.
But on top of that now, what the governor has decided to push on counties, and the counties certainly have been looking at this, is that it's not going to be a county average, where that number right there is a county average. So if we're really low in Laguna Woods, or really low in the South County, and the North County in Anaheim, Santa Ana, where it's more densely populated, is higher.
Right.
That's what you get that average. Well, now what they're going to say is we need to look at like census tracts or zip codes. And if you have a zip code that's like up in the 5s, we're not going to allow you, even though your average may get down,
Wow.
you need to get everybody down.
Okay.
So it's not just going to be average base. It's also, they're going to look at their quote unquote hotspots.
So when is that supposed to start happening?
They said that they rolled out that information to the counties last week.
Okay.
So I haven't seen any specifics in this kind of a chart.
Okay.
So I don't know if we have any hot zip codes within the county that are way above the average.
Right.
But that's something that the county's now going to have to address before they can get into that next tier and open up facilities.
Well, I think that makes a lot of sense because everybody's operating a little bit differently. And, this area, Laguna Woods in general, is doing probably way more than the average person as far as we know. And opening up restaurants and maybe even more facilities based on that information, I think would be really helpful.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember, and I think we all do, is that this is spread so easily and so widely. There could be somebody from LA County that comes into Orange County. There's
That's
or
true.
any county. And so if you have an area where maybe the infection rate is a little higher, and those people are going out to dinner anywhere in Orange County.
That's
true. So that's one of the reasons I think they're looking at that. But if we can, again, the whole effort for wearing your mask, social distancing, is get that 4.6 down, and so that we're in that new moderate, and that'll allow Orange County businesses to open up with higher percentages. Still won't be fully opened up, but as we know, gyms are at 10% and some others are at 25.
Right.
That could grow to like 50% and 25%, and that's what you want. We're going to continue on our side of the equation
Right.
to look at outside activities.
As long as our weather holds up, and so far it's looking pretty good for a while.
Right, and so one of the things that I was going to mention is that with our fitness outdoors that we've done, we are now having the online capability of getting reservations 7 days in advance. By doing that and evaluating how people were using it, we're now able to offer to our community 3 exercise a week versus 2. We originally started that you could register just for 2 times a week. Now you can register for 3 times a week.
Oh, good.
So if you're a good person that likes to go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that type of thing, or Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, however you want to do it, you can now go 3 times a week. So
Well, that's good.
Just go ahead and register with the program, and like you've been doing, and that's great news.
Now, since you had mentioned on Monday that, well, it may have been last week, the information where the hours were not as compacted as some of the other hours. Since you mentioned that, are people now taking more advantage of that?
Yeah, and that's
good.
also why we wanted to expand the
Okay.
ability for people to go more often. So if you have individuals that are really active out there and participating, they were limited to 2 because of that focused time frame. Now expanding that reservation system allows them to go more time.
That's great. And people are taking advantage of the reservation system. Yes?
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
And
That's
one
wonderful.
of the things that we heard yesterday is how happy a lot of people were in opening the pool at Clubhouse 1 and adding those additional hours to our pool time, especially in this warm weather.
Yes.
That correlates too.
Exactly.
Not that we want to have hot weather all the way through
No.
the winter, but that's nice for right now. We're kind of having the additional pool time. So that's
Good.
really good. And then working with Brian in Recreation, we're still evaluating what other classes that we can roll out, what other programs we can do outside. So we're real excited about the fact that we can do some additional. The most difficult thing we've had recently, which is kind of an anomaly that because of COVID, is running into the situation of getting teachers for these classes. Volunteers or paid. Either way, a number of the teachers that we had don't want to do it just for personal protection, or they've engaged in some activity other than this. And so we've been struggling a little bit to find enough instructors for some of the classes. So if anybody knows of anybody that was interested, please call the Recreation Department too, and we'll vet that out and make sure that we can increase our participation.
Yeah, well, that's interesting about the teachers. I mean, I guess, like you said, they may have gotten other positions or secured something that might be a little more, I guess, regular rather than here and there type of thing. So.
That same issue we're facing with our at our gates. We have gate ambassadors, and we're recruiting for gate ambassadors right now. So when we shut down with COVID, we went back to a lot of the gate ambassadors. Well, the gate ambassadors live here in the community and work part-time. Well, there were a number of gate ambassadors who didn't feel comfortable because of COVID-19 being in that environment.
Right.
So they're no longer working with us as a gate ambassador. So with the restructuring and staying open, we were using some of our employees that we had to furlough.
Right.
We're now back to getting in full operation back with our residents being the people at the ambassadors. But Carlos indicated to me that he's short, so if anybody's interested, contact our HR department with regards to your interest in being gate ambassador.
Well, they can also go, I'm imagining that's on the website too, the
Yes.
Laguna Woods Village website, and you can go to careers, and then you type in resident, and that will be having the gate ambassadors on there, right?
Exactly.
Okay, all right, good. Anything else?
No, I just want to wish everybody a great weekend, and we'll look forward to next week talking. We got Third on Tuesday, their board meeting, and VMS is on Wednesday. So we got a lot of board meetings next week and a lot of activity going on.
Oh yeah, I've been talking to a lot of those board members and the board directors, and boy, there's a lot going on. So.
And people are out there. I do want to mention one thing: get out and vote. Make sure you're voting for. You have voting in United, voting in Third. Get out there and exercise that right, and please vote.
Perfect. All right. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after this with a United Update with Sue Margolis. Stay tuned.
As a friendly reminder, cast your third mutual ballot by using a dark pen to fill in the oval. Place your ballot in the secret ballot envelope. Then, insert into the yellow postage-paid return envelope and seal. On the back of the yellow envelope, sign your name. Mail in plenty of time to arrive before November 2nd. Or hand deliver to the Community Center ballot box by November 2nd. This is an important election proposition. Please vote.
Welcome back. Today I'm joined by Sue Margolis, who is here on behalf of United with an update. Well, Sue, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome, and hello everyone. I'm glad to be here. We're going to discuss a little thing that you've probably been hearing about a lot, insurance, and how it'll be affecting your fees. This has been a very troubling year when it comes to insurance outlook, and there's no end in sight. What has happened is this: insurers have asked the village to reassess for replacement cost, and the values that have emerged are double of the previous evaluation. For United, the new value is $1.5 billion. This number is the number we would need in order to rebuild if there were a total wipeout. Hopefully never. The whole village is assessed at $3.4 billion. This includes GRF and third. That much insurance is not available to us at any price whatsoever. Mm-hmm. In past years, the village purchased $700 million worth of insurance based on the value that had been written into third CC&Rs. Due to the cost this year, United has chosen to purchase with GRF and third a joint policy for only $425 million. Unfortunately, it has a $25,000 deductible. We used to have a $10K deductible. Mm-hmm. Most of United's incidents have been losses in the range of $10,000 to $15,000, so we really weren't collecting much either. Mm-hmm. Thus, we will not be collecting from our policy in most cases. With this replacement value assessment at $1.5 billion, in case of a total catastrophe, we are underinsured by a factor of 3.
Right.
There was an interesting number put out by our broker that some insurance companies estimated our probable maximum loss at $150 million, that most of the village would not be destroyed in one catastrophe. Mm-hmm. This means that in 99.6% of the time, the loss would be less than $150 million. So it is reasonable to conclude that we are probably safe with 425. The policy is good for 1 year, but we can drop it in 60 days notice. This gives us some leeway to consider buying closer to the $150 million coverage amount and trying to figure out a way to cover for the catastrophic event with another method. So we have started an ad hoc committee to look at the alternatives to lower our expenditure on insurance and maximize our coverage. If any of our residents are knowledgeable, experts on insurance, we welcome you to join the committee as advisors. One of the ways we could get more economical coverage for catastrophes if we required every manor to be covered by at least the minimum HO6 style policy, which is a standard minimum insurance policy for condos and co-ops, especially desirable for those manors that have been altered. An HO6 policy will cover the interior damage of your unit, improvements, additions, and alterations that you've made. Most people have made alterations because these were built in the 60s. Plus, it covers your personal property. It will pay for additional living expenses if you can't live in your manor when due to the peril. Mm-hmm. Have a long recommended we have long recommended that every manor obtain this coverage. We are considering making it mandatory. Okay. The United policy has always covered the outside building structure, the common areas, and the non-modified areas.
Right, right. And you know, and this policy sounds very similar to like a renter's insurance or something like that.
Yeah,
Right.
it's very similar to renter's insurance. It's for
Okay. Is it expensive?
Well, we have one basic insurance company that's willing to give you with what we're requesting for $130 a year, $131 a year. So it's not expensive if you it's basic.
No, that's very reasonable. And how, tell me, how does this help you guys as a whole by each individual manor having this?
Okay, this HO6 would coordinate with our master policy, which we hope to get down to 150 million instead of the 425.
Okay.
And since it cooperates, it will not cover the mutual in case of disaster. We request that you or recommend that part of your HO6 purchase is $100,000 loss assessment coverage, so that in case of a catastrophe, we could have a special assessment. With the loss assessment coverage, the insurance would pay the special assessment for you. With this, to add to your current coverage, if you do have an HO6, we've heard that it costs between $15 and $30 a year. So it would provide the mutual with over $600 million of coverage for rebuilding.
Wow. Well, that's helpful.
We're working with a local insurance company, and they're willing to offer a basic coverage with a loss assessment at $131 a year. And you can choose whoever you want to go with, and we do know that State Farm will give you the $131 insurance policy.
Okay.
Please discuss your needs with your insurance agent or insurance company to make your purchase the right amount for your individual needs. I realize this is a lot to start thinking about. We shall definitely be revisiting this theme and hope to ease everybody on the board with minimum of effort. Thank you. Any questions, Lisa?
Well, you know, as I mentioned, it seems very similar to a renter's policy. Now, of course, great advice to shop around, because this HO6 policy, I mean, I'm assuming it's available for most insurance companies. Is that correct?
All insurance companies have it. So you can go to Farmers or anybody else that you've ever used.
Absolutely.
We are not going to require you to go to one insurance company, but we are going to start trying to require everybody to have it, especially those people who modify their manors, because we don't cover it. If there's a water intrusion or something of that nature, you are stuck with the bill.
Right. And you know, if you're a veteran, you could always look at USAA. That seems to be a good operation. And then if you're what is it, AARP, maybe they would be able to help you find someone too.
Yep. These are all valid ways to get your insurance. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, I know this is something that's been going on for a while now, and now's the time.
Yes, it is.
All right. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Okay. And we'll be right back after this.
United Mutual members, here's what you must do to ensure your votes count and are not disqualified due to unsigned ballots. With a black or dark pen, fill in the oval to the right of the candidate's name. Do not mark an X or a check mark or your vote may not count. Place your ballot in the secret ballot envelope and seal. Do not write on this envelope. Insert the secret ballot envelope into the pink postage paid return envelope addressed to United Laguna Woods Mutual and seal. On the back of the pink postage paid return envelope, provide your address and signature on the signature line and mail. Unsigned return envelopes will not be counted. Mail-in ballots must be received at the post office box by 11 a.m. on November 2nd. Hand-delivered ballots placed in the ballot box in front of the community center must be received by 5 p.m. on November 2nd. Call the Inspector of Elections at 855-240-0363 if your ballot is lost or damaged to have a new ballot mailed to you in 1 to 2 business days.
Movie for today, it's an oldie but goodie, Old Yeller. So make sure you have those Kleenexes nearby. Well, Jim Coates is off on a cattle drive. His wife Katie and sons Travis and Arliss are left behind on their Texas ranch. When a runaway dog named Old Yeller causes damage in one of their fields, Travis tries to drive him away. However, Travis and Katie both warm to Old Yeller when he saves Arliss from a bear attack. As Travis and the brave and faithful dog grow closer, concern grows about an outbreak of rabies. And you can see that today at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 7 p.m. without subtitles, and that is brought to you by Hoag Orthopedic. All right, we have a couple of announcements that I'd like to go over. We have a town hall meeting that's going to be coming up, and that'll be October 22nd at 9:30 in the morning. Now, if you would like to pose a question or comment or anything related to this, you can email to nomessvoteyes@lagunawoodsvillage.com, and then you can always call their number at 949-354-4199, and that is a dedicated line to discuss the ballot as well as the CC&Rs. Now, the electricity has a subsidy program that you all can take advantage of. You can apply to receive a subsidy payment for your increased utility costs that you incurred between March 1st and August 31st. And the deadline to apply is October 21st at 5 p.m. or sooner. So visit the cityoflagunawoods.org/COVID-19 funding. Now, Age Well has a fun activity that's coming up next Tuesday, October 20th at 7 p.m. You can sign up at theosiegel@gmail.com, and it is a reading for To Kill a Mockingbird, and they're going to discuss the book and a variety of other things that are surrounding the subject matter. So if you are interested in that, it's $10, and you can sign up at that email. Now, we've got a couple of other things. New residents, I wanted to point out that next week on Wednesday, October 21st at 4:30 p.m., you can participate on an online orientation that is only for new residents. So to be able to do that, you want to go to the Laguna Woods Village website, and you'll want to look at what they have there for the residents. So take a look at that, but that's something great. And then one last thing, Publishing Club has a storytelling Zoom event, and it looks great, so you want to check that out. Okay, weather, hot again today, 94-65, and as I mentioned throughout the week, we are going to start a cooling trend. Have a great day in the village. We'll see you again here tomorrow at 9 a.m., or you can watch our rebroadcast at 12:30 and 5. Have a great Friday.
Now there's a different way to buy a new Lexus. It's called CarDash, only available at SouthCountyLexus.com. It's amazingly simple. Visit SouthCountyLexus.com, select and reserve your new or pre-owned vehicle that comes with a 5-day love it or leave it guarantee. Apply for credit, calculate your payment, and even appraise your trade-in, all online. Once you arrive at the dealership, just pick up your car and drive home. Push a button, get a Lexus. South County Lexus, where different is amazing.
Tip. Toss. Take action. Don't give mosquitoes a fighting chance.